Morning, everyone. Can you all hear me? Not able to hear anyone. Can you all hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you. So we'll start with the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen. So students, I hope you all have understood the previous derivations. Good morning to everyone, all who are coming. Keep on admitting a lot of people over here. So I hope everyone has done the derivations. Please continue to do so again and again. The reason why is because numerical questions come very often based on such derivations. And if you know the concept, the reason why we took a general derivation, so that you understand the concept behind a line of charge, so that you are able to derive yourself what an infinite or semi-infinite line of charge is. Okay, what is the electric field on the point due to a charged uniform charged ring. All these things are very important for everyone to know. So I have done those derivations yesterday. I hope you all will continue to practice those derivations. They are very helpful. Okay. Good morning, everyone. I can see your chats. If you all have any doubts, and in case you all are feeling that you all don't want to come out public, you all can always send a message private. There's a private message option, and please wait for the attendance to be taken in the end. I will switch the camera now to the board. So we will start with the derivations. Just give me a second. Okay.
Make it spotlight. Make this. Okay, can everyone see the board and can everyone hear me? Okay, I require quick response.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So yesterday, what we had done, you remember, an infinite line of charge, a finite line of charge, and then we came up to these two derivations. What was the end result? The parallel component of electric field intensity was what? K lambda by d cos beta minus cos alpha. Please correct this. In the end, there was a slight correction. Okay, there was a slight correction. So if you have written it down from the board, please just correct this cos beta minus cos alpha. Okay, and E perpendicular. What is E perpendicular? What we got perpendicular in the sense towards x-axis. Okay, and x-axis. Why? Because x-axis is perpendicular to the line of charge. That was K lambda by d sin alpha plus sin beta. Now case 1, students, case 1. What was the case 1? I said we derived these two derivations for finite line of charge. So case 1 is when alpha and beta are put as pi by 2. If you put alpha and beta as pi by 2, the finite line of charge turns out to become an infinite line of charge. Is this understood? Quick responses, guys. Give me quick response.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Everyone understood, no? Any doubt? Please send me a private message or please shoot out your doubts directly. Okay. So case 1, alpha and beta if pi by 2. Okay. You put pi by 2 over here, cos pi by 2, cos pi by 2 over here. What is cos pi by 2? Everyone, quick response. Fast.
1.
Cos pi by 2.
1.
0, no?
1.
It is 0. So E
0,
parallel.
0.
Yeah. So electric field intensity at the parallel component will be what? 0. Am I right? It will be 0. Okay. Next one is E perpendicular. What will be sin pi by 2?
1.
1
1.
plus 1, 2. So 2k lambda by d. So E perpendicular is what? 2k lambda by d. Okay. So this is case 1. In an infinite line of charge. Students, in an infinite line of charge, E parallel is 0 and E perpendicular is 2k lambda by d. Is this understood?
Yes,
this
sir.
understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Great, guys. Give me a quick response. Case 2. What is case 2? I have written it in red. I will tilt the mobile in some time so that you will be able to see the full thing. So case 2 is when alpha is pi by 2 and beta is 0. Can you imagine what it will turn out to be? What it will turn out to be? A
Semi-infinite
semi-infinite
line, sir.
Yeah, great answer. So alpha is pi by 2, beta is 0. So it will become a semi-infinite line. Why? Because beta we are closing it down. We're making it 0. So what will happen basically? Semi-infinite line. You can see. So alpha is pi by 2 here. Alpha is pi by 2. You put the pi by 2 in these equations. What is cos pi by 2? Cos pi by 2 is what?
0.
0.
0.
Yes. Cos pi by 2 is 0. Okay. And what is beta cos 0? See, alpha pi by
1.
2 and beta 0.
1.
Cos beta is cos 0.
1.
That is 1. Is this
1.
clear?
Yes,
Is this
sir.
clear? We are simply
Yes,
putting these
sir.
angles. Alpha pi by 2 and beta 0. Cos beta, that is cos 0, will be 1. Cos pi by 2 will be what? 0. So k lambda by d will be k lambda by d will be E parallel content. I've written it down over here. Okay. And E perpendicular. Same thing. Put the same angles. Alpha as pi by 2, beta is 0. In perpendicular, E perpendicular will be what? K lambda by d sin pi by 2 plus sin 0. What is sin pi by 2? 1. Sin 0, 0.
0.
So E perpendicular will be only k lambda by d. Okay. Now I'll tell you something. Now you found out. You I'll just rub the board. Okay. Just remember this. For semi-infinite line, I'm going to write this again. Semi-infinite line. E parallel is k lambda by d. E perpendicular is k lambda by d. Okay. So we're talking about case 2. So I'm saying that there was a semi-infinite line of charge over here. Okay, we put this was at a distance like this, and the charge over here puts an affects this test charge in this direction, and this is what? Electric field intensity. Okay, you get two parallel, you get a perpendicular component which is at theta, and you get a parallel component. Okay, now I know that for case 2, that is for semi-infinite line of charge, this is k lambda by d and this is k lambda by d. So what will be the net result, guys? What will be the net result? Can anyone calculate fast, quick? Can anyone calculate? Very easy. See, this is k lambda by d. This side is k lambda by d. So obviously this side also is k lambda by d. Yes or no? Are you understanding?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes.
So see,
Yes, sir.
this component is k lambda by d. I repeated this component which is over here as k lambda by d. So by Pythagoras theorem, what will be this? It will be root 2 k lambda by d.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is the net electric field intensity. This is the net electric field intensity. So these are two cases, children. These are two cases, and this should be very clear for you. because not always you will get a formula based numerical. Sometimes you will get concept based, and if you know how to derive these equations, it's very good. Okay, if you know how to derive these equations, it's a very good thing to do so. Okay, quickly we'll do electric field due to uniformly charged arc. Okay, and here we'll have a slightly different concept which I taught previously. So I will just show you. Okay, consider this to be an arc. Okay, it's an arc, and there is a point P at this point. There is a point P at this point. Now what is happening? We have to find the electric field intensity due to the arc. Okay, and the upper edge of the arc, okay, makes, and the upper edge and the edge below the arc right here, this entire thing makes an angle alpha. This entire thing is making an angle, okay, making an angle alpha. Okay, and we need to find the electric field intensity due to this arc. So what is the first thing we do? As I said, in linear charge, in linear system, okay, a line of charge or anything, we take a dx amount of charge on the line at x distance. Okay, but for a curve, what we'll do? For a curve, we'll take it in terms of theta. Okay, we'll take it in terms of theta. So there will be a small charge on this arc, small amount of charge here, right here. Okay, this charge is dq. This charge is dq. Okay, and this charge is making a certain angle. Okay, this charge makes a certain angle right here. What is this angle going to be? For example, let's consider this to be theta. This to be theta. Okay, right here. So what is this small angle going to be? This one. What is this angle going to be? Quick responses, guys. This is going to be what? D theta. Okay. D theta. Right? Is everyone understanding?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes,
great.
sir.
Okay. So there is a small amount of charge I have taken here. It is dq. Okay. It is making an angle theta with the point P, the test charge point P. Okay, and the small angle which dq is making is basically d theta. Okay, now what happened? This dq, okay, this dq is applying a force on P in the direction, in this direction. Okay, in this direction, and it gives me two components, one in the x direction and one in the y direction. One in the x direction, one in the y direction. Now, once you are done drawing this, just immediately start deriving the equation. It's just easy. Okay, we know what that dE. We know this formula. dE is equal to k dq upon r square. Okay, k dq upon r square. Am I right? Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
And now this is the arc. Children, this is a, students, this is an arc. So what is a arc going to have a distance? What is the arc will be? Arc distance will be capital R. It's a radius, no? It's a part of a circle. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So we'll consider the distance between this dq and this point P as R, capital R. Okay. You understood? So now dE is equal to k dq r square. But right now we want the electric field intensity at this point. Okay. So it is what is it going to be? Now this dE, right? This dE is making an angle theta over here. It is making an angle theta over here. Why? If this is theta, this also will be theta. Okay. If you bisect a line like that, okay, the angle on this side will be equal to this side. Okay. It's a 10th standard or 9th standard concept. So if you are not familiar with it, just go through it a little bit. No problem. So dE is equal to k dq upon r square. Immediately take the cos component. What it will be? dE will be dE cos theta will be equal to k dq upon capital R. I'm taking capital R right here because I'm taking the radius r square into cos theta into cos theta. Now what are we going to do? See, look at this point dq. Look at this dq. Okay, now dq is variable. Okay, and theta also is variable. Okay, these are two different variables. Okay, because dq is a small amount of charge and theta is the angle made by dq. Okay, so we will bring this in terms of one variable. So here comes the concept of charge density. Okay, see, pay attention. You might know this, but it's just a revision. If you know it, if you don't know, pay attention. Okay, here I will put charge density. What is charge density? How can we write charge density? Okay, it is simple. I'll write it in red over here. That charge density lambda, charge density lambda is equal to q upon L. Q upon L. Okay, again, so I will take L this side. If I take L this side, what it will become? L lambda equal to Q. So then if I take differentiation, what I will get? dq is equal to lambda into dl. Am I right? I'll write this again. dq is equal to lambda dl. Is that understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay, so I will write dq equals to lambda dl. Now pay attention, guys. You remember solid angle? I had actually explained this. Okay, see here. This theta, no, this theta can be written in terms of theta equal to length of the arc L upon radius. Okay, theta equal to length of the arc upon radius. Okay, so what will be the differentiation before that? Theta is equal to L by R. So R theta equal to L. I will remove this R over here. I'll put R over here. R theta equal to L. So dl is equal to R d theta. dl equals to R into d theta. So I will write that dl equals to R into d theta. dl equals to R d theta. So I can write dq is equal to lambda into, in place of dl, I will write R d theta. So I will do that. So I can write that this is equal to lambda into R d theta. Okay, so I know dq is equal to lambda R d theta. If I replace dq with lambda R d theta, the entire expression will become what? In one variable. It will become in terms of one variable. So I will do that. I'm going to rub this down. Okay, so just, okay, so what it will become? It will become k. Okay, instead of dq, I will write lambda R d theta. Okay, k lambda R d theta into cos theta upon capital R square. Am I right, students?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
simple concepts. Okay, k lambda R d theta cos k lambda R d theta into cos theta upon R square. Okay, now what we got the component on x axis. We finally got the component upon x axis. So now what we have to do, we got the component, but based on what? This small amount of dq. So what we have to do now, we have to integrate it. So what are the constants? First, we know that k lambda, okay,
K
r
lambda.
is constant, r square is constant. What is only variable? Theta. Okay, cos theta d theta is variable. So I will write this again in a good format. What we will get? Okay, what we will get? This r and this r will get cut. No, this r and r will get cut. Okay, so I
Yes.
will write it in a proper format. what we will get? Yeah, what we'll get? We will get, okay, K lambda, okay, by R, okay, okay, K lambda cos theta d theta. And to find out E, we have to basically integrate this cos theta into d theta. Now, guys, quickly tell me the angle. Quickly tell me the angle. What is going to be the angle? Limits.
Minus
Tell me the
alpha by
limits.
2 to plus
minus
alpha by 2.
alpha
Minus alpha by 2 plus alpha by 2, right? So
plus
minus alpha by 2 into alpha by 2. Right? What is the integration of cos theta? Sin theta?
Sin theta.
Okay. So I will write this as equal to, okay, K lambda by R, okay. I'll write this as sin theta, okay, minus alpha by 2 and alpha by 2. Okay. Now this can be written as, how can this be written? I'm going to rub it again. Okay. So that will be written as K lambda by R, okay, sin alpha by 2 plus, okay, sin alpha by 2, okay, minus of, it will become sin minus alpha by 2, okay, and what will that be? This minus will come out, it will become plus, okay, sin of minus theta is minus sin theta, okay. So now what we got? K lambda by 2 sin alpha by 2 plus sin alpha by 2.
2 sin
Okay.
alpha by 2.
Yeah. So how much is this? Okay. How much is this? 2k lambda sin alpha by 2. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is the derivation for an arc. This is the derivation for an arc. Okay. Now with the help of this, we can actually derive equations for many other system of charges in terms of arcs. So I will just rub this, okay, and now we will see the electric field intensity due to a charged half ring, okay, charged half ring. So just half ring in the sense what, it's going to be half semicircle, okay, just draw it, no problem. Just draw this, it's a semicircle. And now what we know that electric field intensity of the arc was what? 2k lambda by R into sin alpha by 2. Okay, here what is alpha? Here what is alpha?
Pi by 2.
Alpha is pi by 2. Are you sure?
Oh, alpha is 180 degree.
Alpha is 180 degree, right? So alpha is 0 to pi. Alpha is 0 to pi, no? Okay.
Yes,
Is that
sir.
understood? It's not pi by 2. Array, angle subtended by a semicircle will be how much? 180 degree.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay.
sir. My
Yeah.
mistake, I
So it's okay. So see, listen. So what you'll get? 2k lambda by R sin pi by 2, and that will be what? Tell me fast.
2k lambda by R.
2k lambda by R.
Yeah? 2k lambda by R. This is the, okay, electric field intensity due to what? Due to a
Semicircle.
semicircle.
half
Okay.
ring.
Now immediately we'll go to do, okay, derivation for a quarter of the arc. Now this is an oral question, guys. You don't need to even derive this. What will be this? What is the angle?
You have
90
pi by
degree.
2.
Pi by 2.
Pi by 2.
Pi by 2.
Huh?
Pi by 2.
Yes. Okay, pi by 2. Oh, okay, whatever. So, what is the electric field intensity due to a due to the arc? This should be by heart for you now.
K lambda
K
by
lambda by
lambda by
R.
R
Sine
sine
alpha by 2.
Alpha by 2.
alpha by 2. Okay, never forget this alpha by 2. And because I'll tell you why. You know this is pi by 2. Some people will directly put pi by 2 over here. That is wrong. Okay, remember this R. Okay, so what you'll get over here? Silly mistakes actually will cost you a lot. Okay, sine, what you'll get? Pi by
pi by 4.
Pi by 4.
4. What is pi by 4, guys? Fast.
1 by root 2.
Sine pi
1 by
4.
root 2.
1 by root 2.
1 by root 2. So that root 2 will cut over here. This will become root 2. So what will end up being?
Root 2 K lambda
Root
by
2
R.
K,
Root 2
K
K
lambda by
lambda
R.
by R.
Okay, this is the derivation for a quarter. You understood? Everyone understood this part? Any doubts? Any doubts?
No, sir.
Yeah.
No, sir.
Yes, Anushka. It is from chapter 1 only. I'm doing electric field only. Okay. Doing electric field. Okay. Now let's do a little bit complicated one. Okay. Now we know what will be the electric field intensity due to a disk. What will be the electric field intensity due to a disk? Now consider that there is a point over here. Okay, there is a point. Just give me a minute, guys. It's not easy to do. Okay, there is a point over here which is at P. Okay, what will you do over here? Okay, you have to take an element. Okay, just like you took an element in a linear charge as dx and in a circular ring as dq, what you will do here in this disk, what element can you take? First, anyone guesses? Any guesses? Quickly. Any guesses?
The ring.
Yeah, we'll take a ring. Okay, we'll take a ring. So we'll take this ring. We'll take a ring. This will be your element. You understood this? This will be your element. Now, simple thing, just like how you solved for a ring, no? Is that easy? Okay. No much, there's no much hassle. Consider that the center of this ring, from the center of this disk to this point P, is at a distance of R, smaller. It is at a distance of smaller. Okay. Now, let's understand one thing. Let's just understand one thing. This, what will be the considering the fact that this disk is this cross section is a circle, okay, and the entire thing will have a radius of capital R. Okay, this entire disk has a radius of capital R. Okay, okay, this entire disk has a radius of capital R. But when you take a ring as an element, when you take a ring as an element, what will it become? What you will take the radius as? You will take it as x. Okay, this ring and radius are two different things. You take it as x. Should I write it here? Okay, is this clear? Everyone, is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you take it as x. So what will be the hypotenuse? What will be the distance between the 2 points? Okay, quick responses, everyone.
Root under
Very
x
easy.
square plus r square.
Yeah, good. Okay, great. So it's going to be root of x square plus r square. Okay, this is the distance between the two charges. Now, as soon as you have finished drawing this part, as soon as you understood this, okay, what will you do? You have to directly jump into the derivation. That is, you know, dE is equal to k dq upon R square. Okay, attendance. Okay, K dq upon R square. Now what is R square over here? Okay, dE is equal to K dq upon root of, okay, root and square will get cancelled. So what you'll end up with? You'll end up with x square plus R square. You'll end up with x square plus R square. Now what is that? What have you found out? You found out the electric field intensity at which point? In this direction. Okay, you are interested in finding out in which point? This direction. This is making an angle theta with the x-axis. Okay, so what you will do? Simple. Again you will do it, that dE cos theta. I'll write it here. dE cos theta is equal to K dQ cos theta d theta upon x square plus R square. X square plus R square. Now what you can see in this expression? What can you see in this expression? dq, okay, and x and theta. Okay, we have to bring all of this in one variable. What we have to do? We have to bring all of this in one variable. So I will just rub this and write it again. Okay, we found out that dE, okay, what now comes the charge intensity, charge density. What is charge density? Okay, let me write that again first. dE is equal to, okay, is equal to K dQ cos theta upon R square plus x square. Okay, now dQ is what? What will be dQ? Again the charge density concept, that there is a certain lambda, it is having charge per unit. Now in this thing we are taking an area. The element is not a small amount of dQ. Okay, it is not a small amount of dQ, it is an entire ring. Okay, so what you can write? Q by area. Okay, or Q by area. Just write it. So what will be lambda equal to Q will be equal to lambda into some certain area. Okay, so that will be dQ equals lambda into dA. Okay, dQ equals to lambda dA. Now what can we write it as? Okay, it will be, what is a ring having an equation? What is the ring circumference? What is going to be the, okay, wait, considering that this is a very thin ring, no, considering that this is a very thin ring, we won't take area, we'll take length. Is this understood? Everyone is understanding?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so what we will get now, if you see, dl is what is the dl is length, but when you talk about length of a ring, what is it? Circumference. So tell me the circumference of this ring, what it will be. Quick guys.
2 pi r.
2 pi r.
Wrong. 2 pi x, na?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you're taking x as the radius of this ring, na? R is the radius of this entire disc. Is that understood? Is that understood? Okay.
Yes,
yeah.
sir.
So now what we will do? We will take the cos component. So what we'll get? Okay, I'm rubbing this down. Okay, I will substitute that in the cos component. So what I will get is dE cos theta equals to K into, okay, K into dQ. So dQ I will write as lambda into 2 pi x dx. Okay, 2 pi x dx. Okay, into cos theta. Okay, upon root of small r square plus x square. So I got the dE component. I got the component of electric field intensity in which direction? In this direction, x direction. Is that understood? Okay. So now what we have to do? You can see this theta. You can see this cos theta. What is cos theta? Everyone just look here. What is cos theta according to this diagram? Adjacent upon hypotenuse. So what is adjacent over here? Adjacent is this r.
R by X.
Hypotenuse is this root of x square plus r square. Okay. So we will write it in that terms. So what we will get? dE, okay, cos theta equals to k lambda 2 pi x dx upon r square plus x square into, okay, adjacent is r, hypotenuse is root of r square plus x square. Okay, root of r square plus x square. Is this understood? Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So now if you simplify this equation, what you will get? K lambda 2 pi x dx into r upon r square plus x square raised to 3 by 2. Yes or no? You will get r square plus
Yes,
x
sir.
square raised to 3
Yes,
by
sir.
2.
Yes, sir.
So I will do that. Okay, I will do that. Right. Okay, what I will get? I will get r square plus x square raised to 3 by 2. Okay. Now I will just rearrange the term. I will just rearrange the term. I can bring r over here. So okay, kr lambda 2 pi x dx. So now you see everything is a constant except x. Okay, everything is a constant except x. So now what we can do? We can finally integrate this equation. We can finally integrate this equation. So I will rub this. Okay, but what I want to say is now, what are you going to integrate in this equation? X, because only x is a variable. Rest everything is a constant. Rest everything is a constant. So I will just rub it off. See, this is happening because there's lack of space on the board. So bear with me. We will simply have E equals to, okay, integration of dE, which is what? I will take all the constants outside. That is k was constant, lambda was constant. Okay, k was constant, lambda was constant, 2 pi is constant. Okay, x is x constant? Is x constant? No. 2 pi r is constant. Integration of x dx upon what? R square plus x square raised to 3 by 2. Raised to 3 by 2. Okay, you all understood this? Okay, r square plus x square raised to 3 by 2. Now how will you integrate this? How will you integrate this? Quick response, guys, give me quick response. What can we do to make the integration much easy? Okay, what can we do? Simple. What can we do? Anyone? Any guesses?
Sir, we can take the R square plus X square term to the numerator.
Okay, you can do that. What is the easier way? Substitution way. Substitution is much better. Substitution is much better, no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, substitution is much better. So what we can finally do is we can take all the constants that is k lambda 2 pi r constant x, that is this entire term, and what we can do is basically multiply and divide by 2. Okay, let's multiply this and divide by 2. So I will divide this entire thing by 2. I will put a multiplication over here. Okay, 2x dx upon r square plus x square. You take x square is equal to t. So what will be? 2x dx is equal to, okay, am I right? 2x dx is equal to dt. Okay, 2x dx is equal to dt. So this 2x dx is right here, 2x dx. We will consider that as dt, and this will be r square plus what? X square is t. X square is t. Am I right? So I will write it in that term. So what we will get? K lambda 2 pi. See, the class is ending, guys. So I want you to try this. Okay, I want you to try this and come up to me with a solution. Okay, if it ends, then come up to me with a